One of the Brazil's biggest problems is the lower fertility index. Brazil has an extremely lower fertility index, lower than US, Denmark, Australia, and many other developed countries. And it's very bad because to you develop a country, you need a young generation. You need young people that will work, that will have new ideas, that will create the new society and make new inventions and make things happen. With the older generation, you can't have the same productivity, the same new ideas, the same hard work, the same massive working generation. Because of it, Brazil has a huge problem that it is not an industrialized country, is not a developed country, and to become an industrialized, developed country, it needs a young generation, a higher fertility index to have a young generation that will work and have new ideas and build things. Without the young generation, you can't be so productive, so have so grow and become a developed economy and become one of the biggest economies in the world. That's why Brazil has a huge problem. Brazil is not developed, is not industrialized, is not productive, is not a good country to immigrate. United States has so much more immigrants because they attract these immigrants. Is one of the best countries to you have opportunities, to you work, to you grow, to you make money. Is a developed country, is the biggest economy in the world. Canada has a higher GDP. You can is safe in general. It's becoming worse, but now it has advantages as Brazil has a higher GDP, is a bigger economy in terms of people, like has less people, but these people they are more rich. Brazil, I think that is richer than Canada because we have more people, more people working, but they have a higher GDP per capita. We have, I think that the same GDP, almost the same, but a lower GDP per capita, almost 4 times lower. Then generally people want to immigrate to these developed nations, to these big economies, to these countries that they are generally better as Brazil. And Brazil also speaks Portuguese. We don't have a good English here. Then generally they want to immigrate like to New Zealand, Australia, Canada, United States, Europe, because these countries they have is more safe. They speak English, then it's the global language. You won't need to learn Portuguese. They have more economic opportunities. They are better in general. But Brazil speaks Portuguese, is not developed. You can't grow so much. You don't have so much economic opportunities, and in general is not so desirable to immigrate. And the people here, they are leaving of the country. Brazil has, I think that has more people leaving than people coming here. It's huge problem because now the fertility index of Brazil is 1.60, lower than Denmark. Brazil has a lower fertility index than Denmark and is not so industrialized, developed as Denmark. It's a really huge problem. And I don't know what Brazil would do to deal to come with this problem and become a developed nation, one of the biggest economies in the world. I don't know if it is even possible. I don't know, but I have been thinking about it because it's really a bad situation. So you grow economically, you need you can do two things, or you will grow your, like you have pieces in your economy. Your economy is like pieces. Thinking in a Lego, you have pieces and you need to organize these pieces to make an economy, or you can have more pieces. The economy is like the same thing. Brazil had the opportunity of grow its pieces and it grown, but it's already grown everything that it would grow. Brazil doesn't have more the economic boom, the opportunities of grow the pieces that it has. Brazil had the commodities boom that everyone was buying commodities. China was buying commodities to industrialize itself. It was buying soy, steel, iron, many commodities in general, and Brazil sold many commodities to the world. Brazil had a young generation in the 60s, 70s. In this time, Brazil was emerging economy. Brazil was the bow of the time. Brazil was winning the World Cups. I don't know if it has some relation, but it was winning. And now Brazil doesn't have a younger generation. The world doesn't need so much commodities. Brazil don't have this time to grow. The time to Brazil grow was. Then Brazil can't have more pieces. The commodities boom was, the younger generation was, and the many other things that Brazil had was. Brazil spent a lot of money in things that it doesn't need, like making buildings and doing things that is not necessary, and it's a waste of money and energy. And now what Brazil has is organize the pieces that it has better, becoming more productive. But even with this productive, with AI, with everything, it's really difficult to become a really developed economy and grow, because just organize your pieces better is not enough. I don't have the answer of this problem. I don't know what to do, but it's a question that I have been thinking, and I don't know if the things in Brazil will just become worse because it doesn't have industries, it is not productive, it is not developed. I don't know what Brazil would do. It's a problem in all Western countries, the Oriental countries, the Asia, they have a higher fertility index. Countries like Pakistan, Indonesia, Nigeria, they have a higher, but Western countries in general, they have a lower. I hope that Brazil will find a solution to become more productive or make anything to grow and become a developed nation, a better nation, but I don't know if it even is possible. I watched a video that says that Brazil won't become a developed nation at all, and it doesn't have any solution. And I think that every country is trying to figure out the solution, and I don't know about the future. But it's really good to think about this question because it's a really huge problem in the entire world, and it's really worst in Brazil because it's not developed. I hope you like it. Thank you for the attention. Bye.